What's good, guys? Fantasy Joe back with another fantasy video this week. Week 12 running back rankings. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and if you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comment section down below. I'll respond as always. It's that fantasy football hotline for you guys. And please, 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 I encourage you, if you want to win that fantasy title, want to beat your friends and family, want to bring home that title in 2023, hit that subscribe button. Hit it. And hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section down below. Like I said, basically a hotline for fantasy football, starts, sits, trade advice. I will answer all your comments, and really helps out me and the algorithm. Let's hop in. Christian McCaffrey plays Seattle. McCaffrey is dynamite. You're playing him. This could be a 40-point week, to be honest. I am playing him in a playoff matchup. I am scared to death. Yeah, I don't think they'll need to throw the ball against Seattle, to be honest, and that scares the crap out of me. I think they'll dog walk them. Yeah. Moving on, Travis Etienne Jr. He plays Houston. Good matchup for him. I think he'll be utilized. And again, he's just such an explosive player. I think people discount him and say, make excuses for his touchdown production. But when you're explosive and you beat it right down the field, you're going to have more touchdowns. I think he's a guy who throughout his career will just be a little bit more in the touchdown department because of that explosivity. And they use him in the passing game. They use him in a variety of ways. So he's good moving forward. 3, Austin Ekeler. Tougher matchup for Ekeler, although he's used to the air a lot. So not usually too worried about tough matchups. He just hasn't looked great these last couple of weeks for fantasy. He's produced, but he hasn't looked quite himself since returning from that injury. It's not that he's been bad, but Austin Ekeler is typically one of the best running backs in football. I don't know if he's been quite on that level so far, but with the volume, he's still a top 3 back for me this week. 4, Jonathan Taylor plays Tampa Bay. Both these for Ekeler and JT are tougher matchups, but I ranked them ahead of Gibbs basically because of volume. Gibbs last week had a great week, but 13 touches. You got to hope he gets a little bit more than that. 6 of them were through the air, though, so if that continues to happen, targets were worth 2.5 times, about 2.5 times what a carry is worth, so keep that in mind. But I do expect Gibbs to be a great running back moving forward. 6, Saquon Barkley. He plays New England. Speaking of volume, Barkley just gets a ton of it. I expect New England to try to stop Barkley, but I still think he can have a good game, and we saw that last week. He's just very good, and he's getting the touches, a lot of touches. 7, Derrick Henry plays Carolina. Their run defense is awful. I said in the feature Derrick Henry, this could be a big Derrick Henry game if they can stay in this game. I think they'll be able to. 8, Bijan Robinson plays New Orleans. We saw him get 22 carries and have great route participation before the bye. I expect him to be heavily utilized moving forward, or at least that's what you can hope if you're a Bijan Robinson owner. That's really all you can hope, is that Arthur Smith doesn't go back to his old ways. 9, David Montgomery. He plays Green Bay. I still think basically Gibbs and Montgomery are top 10 running backs every week moving forward. I think if it wasn't for Derrick Henry playing Carolina, some favorable matchups, I think he'd be even higher. Last week I'm 4 at 6. They both worked out. I just see them being very useful going forward. Last year, Detroit Lions backfield led all in fantasy points, so we've seen them do this again, and they're using similar utilization. 10, DeAndre Swift. He plays Buffalo. We saw him shine last week. 11, Alvin Kamara plays Atlanta. Set him to use in the passing game a lot if Derek Carr plays, if he doesn't slight down tick in that area. Isaiah Pacheco, he plays Vegas. I love Pacheco in that game. I think he's going to be awesome. 13, Josh Jacobs. He plays Kansas City. They've got a tough defense, but you just got to hope that Jacobs can get it going. On the volume side, they haven't given the ball a lot. But yeah, I'm not going to lie and say that's an easy matchup or what I'm not concerned about if I'm a Josh Jacobs owner with how well Kansas City's defense has played recently. 14, Ramondre Stevenson. He plays the Giants. This is a good matchup for Ramondre. I think he'd be even higher if he hadn't been splitting with Zeke a little bit recently, because I do expect this to be a game where they could be running the ball a decent amount in the second half. 15, Jerome Ford. He plays Denver. I think this is a game where we could see a lot of Jerome Ford. I expected them to run the ball more last week. 45 dropbacks for DTR, but yeah, we'll see what they do this week. But yeah, I expect more Jerome Ford work, to be honest. 16, Kyron Williams. I know this is a little nuts coming off of the injury, or not really nuts, because they waived Darrell Henderson. That's why I have confidence in Kyron Williams. Should Henderson have even been on a roster? No. He was cut by XFL teams and passed on them and all kinds of stuff. So I think it's going to be great for the offense, and even on some of the other people on their team that this happens. Just keep drives alive, hopefully a little longer. 17, Tony Pollard. He plays Washington. Pollard, it is a good matchup, and you expect him to, I don't know. he's had so many rough matchups. I will say I don't think it's nearly as bad as people think, but if you look at the games where he hasn't had a ton of carries, gets a little sketch on the delivering fantasy points. 18, Joe Mixon, he plays Pittsburgh. Expect him to get a lot of volume, but we'll see how this offense does in general. So the touchdown opportunities to go down with Joe Burrow being out, obviously. 19, Rachaad White, a guy who's excelled through the passing game and could excel through the ground this week as well. He's been dynamite for fantasy football recently. 20, Breece Hall, he plays Miami. I know he's struggled, but should improve with the new quarterback situation, hopefully. I mean, I just don't see many situations where it gets any worse. Jaylen Warren, sorry guys, I had to mess with my dog for 1 second. He just came up, wanted to know what's going on. 21, Jaylen Warren, he's playing Cleveland. Warren's looked excellent recently. You can roll him out there. No, Jaylen Warren's not playing Cleveland. They play Cincinnati. That's a mistake. But I expect Jaylen Warren to be pretty good in that contest. Really has shined on the play-wise recently. I think they can't go away from him. And with Matt Canada going, I think he will be the lead back basically the rest of the season. Najee will obviously be utilized, though. 22, Zach Charbonnet. They play San Francisco. If it wasn't a tough matchup and the offense might not be compromised, he'd be even higher. Honestly, he probably should be higher just from a volume perspective. But if Geno plays, I think it helps him a little bit from the offense eventually being able to score. But if Drew Lock plays, I do think he'll get 25 touches in that contest. So either way, I think he's a pretty safe play. If I have Zach Charbonnet, I'm probably playing him unless I have some other studs above him. But I think Zach Charbonnet, based off volume, is a good play even against San Francisco. 23, Gus Edwards. This isn't volume against the Chargers, but this is touchdown. You can bet on him to get a touchdown, I think, in this game. And that's better than a lot of running backs in fantasy football. 24, James Conner plays the Rams. Tougher matchup, and they haven't utilized him in the passing game much this year. I think that's bringing down his value for sure. But you got to hope things like that change. I still think he's a solid play, though, with where this offense can go with Kyler Murray. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comment section down below. I'll respond as always. It's that fantasy football hotline for you guys, so please use it, and really helps out the algorithm, so I appreciate it. Like I said, Fantasy Joe, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving. I can't tell you how much I appreciate all of you. Even getting me to 500 subscribers, I think that's freaking awesome. I just love having you guys, being able to talk to you guys, and I'm thankful for all of you. So have a great Thanksgiving this year with your families. Bye.